Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and today we are doing another meta-analysis video. Question of the day: do you like the meta-analysis content? Maybe not just this one, because this one is kind of weird that I'm even doing it, because the format that it's in is only for like another week, less than a week. But still, I'm just curious, do you like the meta-analysis content? Do you not care for it? Whatever, just say it in the comments down below. I want to know your thoughts on that. I'm probably going to put up a poll too. But anyway, onto the meta-analysis video. It is the Players' Cup 3. This is, like I said, the series that this is in is about to end. So it's kind of weird that I'm doing a video on this. But I just, it's Players' Cup 3. I still wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on it. Even though we won't be able to really use these teams anymore after, a couple days. But anyway, Series 8 with Restricted, 1 Restricted, is Players' Cup 3. This took place, last weekend? Finals was 10th of April, so, 2 weeks ago. So, kind of weird that we're just now getting this. It was today, actually uploaded today. But yeah, overall, pretty big deal. 896 qualified players from all the regions, all put into one. 16 players in this event, and then we have the top 16, which is really good. Double elimination with open team sheets in Series 8. Really big event. A lot of big names. A lot of great teams. Let's get into it. Okay, so in first place, we have Jonathan Evans. This team was really cool. Shout out Jonathan Evans. I saw a tweet from him and Leonardo, or I saw a team thing. I saw some tweet about this. And then in second place, we have Leonardo. I also saw a tweet about him, with a team report and stuff. So go check them out on Twitter. I'll link them if I can find them. But we'll see. Anyway, in first place, we have Jonathan Evans with a dual rain or a dual weather team with Kyogre as well as the Torkoal Venu. We saw this get really popular throughout this format. A lot of teams were using this dual weather with Kyogre and Torkoal Venu, which is something that I think is pretty interesting. Obviously, we're going to be losing the Kyogre next format, but Torkoal Venu will be everywhere next format once again. Oh, look. There's the Twitter, so I will at least have his Twitter in the description below. Jonathan Evans, the winner. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah, really cool team. We have Kyogre Torn with the Grimmsnarl, the Incineroar, really, really good supportive duo. And then Venu Torkoal, which, does that need an introduction? It doesn't, because it's just, so absurdly powerful. Everybody is using that. And then in second place, we've got a Groudon team with the Torkoal and Charizard as well. Umbreon, which is a really interesting support Pokemon, something we saw a lot this format out of nowhere. And it's really interesting to see that being so used in a restricted format, something you don't see very frequently. It did do really good in the past, a couple random times throughout history in VGC, but now it's really getting popular again. We have that. We have another one in 5th place from Gabriella Gotti, a really well, decorated player. We also have more Umbreon, a lot of Umbreon, which is really cool to see such a, interesting Pokemon being utilized in such a very compact format, a format where most of the supportive Pokemon are kind of just there, right? Most of them are just on every team. Incineroar, Regieleki, so much Lando, all these Pokemon, and seeing Umbreon competing with those really well decorated Pokemon, awesome. I like to see it. Of course, everybody likes Umbreon. Regieleki, Incineroar, really good supportive Pokemon there as well, although Regieleki is probably offensive in this format. Most of the time. Torkoal Venu, or actually the Groudon Venu, is not too unexpected to see. We do see a lot of Groudon here, which is really cool, because Groudon wasn't really seeing too much play a little bit more recently. It was really just Zacian and Kyogre really spearheading the format, but now we are seeing a little bit more Groudon, which is really interesting to see. It is unfortunate we're going to be losing Groudon, but we still do have Torkoal, which is really good. Torkoal Venu is going to be everywhere next format, just obviously it's been so absurd in the formats, in every format that it's been in this game since Gmax Venusaur Gmax came out. Pretty crazy. Anyway, not too surprising to see Kyogre and Groudon get first and second, but it's cooler than just seeing Zacian everywhere, right? Actually, as we look down here, there's not too much Zacian, which is really cool. A lot of the tournaments that we've been seeing, it's been Zacian in the top 16, at least half, maybe more than half, probably more than half Zacian. So it's really cool seeing that getting pushed out a little bit. I think, some players are getting tired of using it. But most of it, most of the decline in playability from it just comes from so much Sun being around. Sun is very, very solid against Zacian. Obviously, we're not going to have to keep this counterplay in mind too much longer because they are going out of the format, but still, it's cool to see. Next, we have another Groudon team with a rental code for this one, which is really cool. I'll go ahead and move that, so that you can see the... Come on, click on the thing on my screen, man. Window capture. Okay, there's the rental code. Boom. Look at that. Cool. You got a rental code for the next couple days. Only a couple days, but still, it's there, which is cool. But yeah, we got some cool stuff there in third place. Shout out Yov. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. I probably botched that name. Anyway, Life Orb, Venusaur instead of the Lumberry Charizard, which is really cool. Going for that counterplay for the Venusaur. Very nice. I like it. Ancient Power on here as well instead of going for the ground move, the something Sands. What was that move? Scorching Sands. Incineroar, not too crazy. It is Assault Vest, though, which is interesting. We're seeing the Snarl, the U-turn, instead of the Parting Shot because of the Assault Vest, which is cool. Citrus Berry on the Groudon, not going for the Weakness Policy. A lot of Groudons have been going for Weakness Policy. We see Porygon 2 as well, which is cool, with the Eerie Impulse, which I like to see. Cover Trick Room, Ice Beam, and pretty standard stuff there across the board for the Grimmsnarl. So yeah, love to see it. Very strong team. Sun stuff is incredibly powerful in this format. Groudon with the Venusaur Charizard is incredibly powerful. You're even going for the Torkoal instead. Very, very good. So that's third place. In fourth place, rounding out our top four, we have Alberto Daza with the Travel Award. Awesome stuff. We have a Regigigas Weezing team, which is actually really interesting. Seeing the Thundurus as well with the Rillaboom. Very good anti-intimidate because the team is very intimidatable. You don't want your Regigigas getting intimidated. You don't want your Urshifu getting intimidated. Although that doesn't really matter too much because its crits will get through that regardless. But it's still good to have that. Weezing is interesting here. Weezing, Regigigas, not, a new combo, but it is a combo that hasn't been seeing a lot of play in this format. I definitely do expect it to be a little bit more played the following format here with, restricted going away. So that's pretty cool to see. We do see Rillaboom with the Miracle Seed, but not opting for the Fake Out. That is one of the big things with the Miracle Seed builds that we see, being able to use Fake Out, but it's not there, which is cool. Assault Vest instead of the Life Orb here for the Thundurus as well. Going for the Defiant. Why did I act like that was Prankster? No, Defiant's normal for this team. That makes a lot of sense. And then Calyrex Shadow-Rider with the Spell Tag, which is really cool. Substitute as well, which is nice. Love to see it. Something Calyrex Shadow we don't see too frequently, so I do like to see it. Next in out of the top four, congrats to all four top four players. That's a really good feat. Awesome stuff. In fifth, just barely bubbling out of top fourth, we have Gabriella Gotti. Great player with the Zacian. The first Zacian we see, actually, which is interesting. Sporting that Garchomp as well, which is really interesting. Life Orb with the Rock Slide, the Earthquake, the Outrage, the Swords Dance. No Protect on here. Very cool stuff. I love to see Garchomp. Garchomp's a really good Pokemon, and a Pokemon that I love a lot. I've played a lot of times. Some cool stuff with it, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Lando on the team, no Incineroar is cool. I think, wait, is this the first team with no Incineroar? No, there was no Incineroar on Alberto's team in fourth place as well. But yeah, Charizard and the Sunny Day Whimsicott, opting for the Sunny Day Whimsicott instead of going for like a Torkoal or a Groudon. Love to see it. Zacian with the no substitute actually, which is interesting. Substitute is really, really good on Zacian. So it's interesting not seeing that. But once again, the Umbreon, we do see the Snarl, the Foul Play. No Moonlight on this, but that's I think that's been kind of getting phased out. Like, I haven't seen that very frequently recently. But yeah, good stuff. Assault Vest, no Life Orb. That's pretty standard. I think it's more standard to see the Assault Vest now. But on Lando Thundo teams, a lot of them have been swapping, going for the Life Orb on Lando instead of Assault Vest, and going for the Assault Vest on the Thundurus. Thundurus definitely seems like the Assault Vest is getting more into play. Like, everybody's using that more, which is interesting. In sixth place, we actually see Galastro, which is a Pokemon we haven't really seen much in Series 8. We do see it a lot in Series 7, however. And, in the upcoming Series 9 format, here's another rental code for you. And in the Series 9 format upcoming, we're going to be seeing Galastro once again a lot, expected a lot. And we do see the weakness policy on here with the Mystical Fire potentially being able to do that. Probably not. We do see... Yeah, it's it's just going to be activated by your opponent. He's not going to Mystical Fire his own Glastrier, probably. That'd be weird. Could happen. I guess could happen. Prankster, Whimsicott. Whimsicott is really strong, you know, with the Helping Hand. The Taunt, very good stuff. No Trick Room of his own on the team, which is really interesting to see for the Glastrier. However, we do see the Rotom Heat, which is a really popular Pokemon, really popular fire Pokemon in this format. We have a lot of good fire Pokemon, so seeing that there is really good. I gotta move close to my camera sometimes because my green screen gets blurry sometimes, and that fixes it for some reason. Sometimes. Anyway, Lando with the Assault Vest. We've got the Lumberry and Didi, which is really interesting, playing around that Sleep Powder. Very good stuff. I like the team. Seeing the Shadow-Rider once again. We are seeing a bit of Shadow-Rider, which is really cool. You know, that's a Pokemon I really enjoy seeing in the format because it's something you don't see very frequently, but it's really solid, actually. So, very interesting, cool stuff. Great stuff to Alejandro Diaz. Great team. Great team. If I can talk, please see if I can talk. Anyway, in 7th place we have Francesco Pero, which is another great player. We have the Venusaur Charizard. Just because I don't say they're a great player doesn't mean they're a great player. This is a really great achievement for a lot of people, but some names just stick better for me. So yeah. Anyway, where were we in 7th place? We have the Charizard Venusaur with the Groudon, the Umbreon, the Regieleki, and the Incineroar, the same 6 as Leonardo Bonami from the same area, or from the same region, so, you know, they could definitely have schemed that team together, but it is also, you know, like, these 3 will come, you know, Groudon with the Venu and Charizard will come pretty naturally to a Groudon team. And Incineroar's great support, Umbreon's great support, and Regieleki's a really strong Pokemon to finish that out. So, who's to say they work together? Maybe they're very different teams, you know, EV spreads and very different attacks. Could be very different, but overall, very solid stuff. In 8th place, rounding off our top 8, we have Roberto. I said Roberto. Oh, what a weird way to say that. Roberto. With the Dragapult, Urshifu, Colossal trio, you know, we're going to be seeing that a lot in Series 9 as well. Rillaboom, Zacian, and the Lando. Very similar to what a team would be in Series 9, a very good Colossal team, but with the exception of Zacian, because that will be gone. But Zacian is an amazing Pokemon for Colossal teams. I've said this so many times. It's one of the best pairings for the Colossal team. And, yeah, it's good. You want to max your Colossal, so why have a restricted that wants to max as well? It's kind of counterproductive. Anyway, into our top 16, I guess. We have another Charizard, Charizard, Venusaur, and this guy, Groudon. We have Umbreon, Grimmsnarl, and Regieleki. Awesome stuff, Raphael. Next, we have another one of these teams. This is identical? No, it's not identical. It's very close to, however. It's really just the Incineroar change. But the Incineroar Rillaboom is really, really good in the back. You have your Colossal and your supportive Pokemon, you know, the Dragapult or the Urshifu. Rillaboom, Incineroar in the back, and the Zacian, if you want to go ahead and, you know, get this rental code, it is right here. Boom. There's the rental code for this team. Lumberry, Dragapult is interesting for that. Focus Sash on the Urshifu instead of the Dragapult, which is, you know, pretty standard stuff. Safety Goggles on the Incineroar, though, is kind of cool. Something we don't see too frequently. We do see the substitute on the Zacian. Like I said, it has been incredible recently, Zacian with the substitute. I mean, it's kind of just like a super-powered Protect that gets Dynamax moves out of the way. It's really incredible overall. Next, we have... Where was I? I don't even know where I was. We were right here. Next, we have 9th place, Daniel Queck. Sorry if I... Keck? I don't know. I mispronounce names all the time. I really am sorry. But we do see some cool stuff on here. Meowschow, which is a Pokemon we don't see very frequently. Calyrex Shadow-Rider actually being one of the figureheads of this event. We do see Groudon the most, but Zacian and you know, the Shadow-Rider we do see probably second most. So that's really interesting, seeing so much Shadow-Rider doing well. And Whimsicott, Thundurus, we have the Indeedee, the Cinderace, and the Calyrex Shadow-Rider. Manchow's really interesting. Cinderace is a really cool addition to the team. We don't see it very frequently, and we don't see Indeedee too frequently either, so that is a cool team. Next, we have our first Yveltal team, which is really good, from Joe UX9, a really, you know, great player as well. Check out his streams. I think this player streams a lot. Either streams or YouTube. Check it out, though. Metagross, which is really cool. Metagross with no Torn, which is really cool. Meta Torn is something we'll definitely be seeing again in Series 8 popping up, or Series 9 rather, popping up, because Solgaleo is gone, and Solgaleo is kind of like a super powered Metagross, right? Not actually, but yeah, kind of. But it takes your restricted slot, so it's a little different. We do see the Venusaur with no Torkoal here, which is really interesting. Probably a, Fire Max move on something. Maybe not. Honestly, it's a pretty interesting team. I do like to see it. We do have Thunderwave, of course, for some good, speed control, and Electro Webs as well, but overall in the Max Air streams from both these Pokemon. So it's pretty interesting seeing the Metagross and the Venusaur. They don't really seem like they pair too well, but like I said, very great player. So there's definitely a lot of, methodical gameplay with this team that I'm just missing. Next in 13th, Michael D'Angelo, another great player. We have the Zacian Colossal team, very good stuff. Dual Colossal team with the Urshifu and the Dragapult. Amoonguss here and Incineroar, Zacian, really cool stuff. Love to see it. Yeah, colossal stuff. Who doesn't know colossal stuff? It's great. Next we have Christopher Egon, and I remember this team actually. This was the one that I believe Dragonair Jordan talked about. He commented the other day, shout out Dragonair Jordan, great player as well. Awesome team builder. He always comes up with some really cool teams, and this was a really cool team. Tyranitar, Dracozolt, not to take anything away from Christopher Egon if they made it together or if he made it, and it's just, resembles, but yeah, it was a really cool team. He talked about it, Tyranitar being a mixed attacker, so it's really good for anti-intimidate there. Max Wormwind on the Dracozolt as well. Dracozolt's a really interesting Pokemon in this format. Not very utilized, but does have some really good practicalities. It was really big in Series 6, but now seeing it a little less play, but it's still really cool. Mimikyu as well with as for Trick Room for the Calyrex Calyrex Ice Rider. Really cool stuff. Incineroar as well, so very good. Very cool team. Next we have a Galarian Moltres and a Zapdos. The birds, bring the birds back, some stuff we haven't seen too frequently in the format. Zapdos kind of fell out of play. It's all a lot of play on like lapdog teams early in the format, but now it's kind of, getting pushed out. But Zapdos is going to be another very relevant Pokemon in the upcoming format, Series 9. In my opinion, I think it'll be really good. Same with Galarian, Moltres. Those stonks will go way up. Those Pokemon will be very frequently played. We do see the Spectre with the Solgaleo. That's an awesome, little thing there. You got your screens, you got your Incineroar, very good damage reduction duo there, and then you have your Spectra with the Bulldoze for your weakness policy to Solgaleo most likely. So awesome stuff to James here. And then in last but not least, because this was a really hard tournament to even qualify for, so even qualifying for it is an incredible feat. But we do see the Kingdra Politoed with the Zacian, so a really interesting rain team that's not utilizing Kyogre in this format because he wants to use the Zacian, which makes a lot of sense, right? Zacian and the Thundurus, so you don't get intimidated as much, and the Incineroar, great stuff. Great stuff to all these players, really good. Shout out to Victory Road VGC once again, victoryroadvgc.com. I'll link it down in the description if you want to look at this yourself, get yourself some rental codes and stuff. I'll also be linking Jonathan Evans' Twitter in there if you want to go. He probably did a team report. I don't know if he did, but just give him a follow. Give VGC Road, Victory Road VGC, a follow on Twitter, all that stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really makes a huge difference. It really does. Have a good week, and good luck in the upcoming format. Goodbye.